Am I dreaming or time traveling? I found myself standing at the altar, about to marry Charles, a man who appeared perfect on the surface, young, handsome, and wealthy. Little did I know, he would soon reveal his true nature as a drinking, gambling, cheating husband. The memories of our tumultuous life together flooded my mind, the empty bottles strewn across the floor, the mounting debts from his gambling addiction. I had to work multiple jobs just to keep us afloat, while he squandered away our future. The pain, the betrayal, the sheer exhaustion of it all, it was still so fresh, so real. As I stood there, the priest's words echoing in my ears, I knew I had a decision to make.
Do you, Helen, take Charles to be your lawfully wedded husband?
His voice resonating through the grand chapel. I heard myself say, my voice trembling but resolute. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the congregation. I could feel the weight of their stares, the shock and disbelief.
Helen, what are you doing?
Charles hissed, his grip tightening on my arm. I'm sorry, Charles, I can't marry you. I pulled away from him, my heart pounding in my chest.
You can't do this to me, to us.
His eyes flashed with anger and something else, fear, perhaps. There is no us. Not anymore. With that, I turned and ran, my wedding dress billowing behind me. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had to escape. I had to find a way out of this nightmare. I had no plan, no idea what to do next. All I knew was that I couldn't go back. I couldn't face the shame, the humiliation of admitting that my perfect life was a lie. So I ran until my legs ached and my vision blurred with tears. I ran until I couldn't run anymore. When I finally stopped, gasping for breath, I found myself in a parking lot. I collapsed against a car, my head in my hands. What had I done? Where would I go? I had no money, no phone, no one to turn to. As if in answer to my thoughts, a familiar voice called out.
Helen, is that you?
It was Sam, my old classmate. Sam, thank goodness. Please, I need your help. Can you drive me to the airport? I pleaded, desperation clinging to every word.
The airport? Helen, what's going on? Why are you in a wedding dress?
Sam looked at me, concern etched on his face. I ran away. From my wedding. From Charles, the words tumbled out in a rush.
What? Why?
I couldn't do it, Sam. I couldn't marry him. He's not who I thought he was. Sam was quiet for a moment, processing this. Then he nodded.
Get in. Let's get you out of here.
I climbed into the car, relief washing over me. As Sam drove, I poured out the whole story, the drinking, the gambling, the lies. He listened without judgment, his expression growing more and more troubled. I have to find William, I said at last, my voice breaking. He's the only one who can help me. Sam frowned.
William? Your ex? Are you sure that's a good idea?
I don't have a choice. He's the only one I trust.
Okay,
Sam said after a long pause.
I'll help you find him.
Tears of gratitude stung my eyes. For the first time since this nightmare began, I felt a glimmer of hope. At the airport, I discovered that William had left for Greece. My heart shattered. I had missed him again, the man who truly loved me. Sobs racked my body as the gravity of my mistakes crashed down on me. How could I have been so blind, so foolish? I returned home, only to face my father's wrath. He was livid, disgusted by my actions. In a fit of rage, he froze my assets and threw me out. I stood on the street, homeless and hopeless. But then, a glimmer of light, my mother, her eyes filled with sympathy, pressed a phone and some cash into my hands before I left. Checked into a hotel, I called Sam with trembling fingers. I needed William's number. I needed to find him, to explain, to apologize. Sam, I need William's number, I said, my voice shaking.
No, Helen. Stay away from him. You've hurt him enough.
Sam's tone was firm, unyielding. Please, I've changed. I know how good he is now. I want to make things right. I was begging now, tears streaming down my face.
You don't deserve him, Helen. You're selfish, malicious. You'll only hurt him again.
No, Sam. I swear I'm different. I understand now. Please give me a chance to prove it. A long silence. Then, a sigh.
Fine. But I'm warning you, Helen. If you hurt him again.
I won't. I promise. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. With William's number in hand, I booked a flight to Greece. It was a leap of faith, a desperate gamble, but I had to try. I had to find him, to win him back. On the plane, I replayed our last conversation in my mind. The hurt in his voice, the finality in his words.
It's over, Helen. I can't do this anymore.
I had been too proud, too stubborn to see what I was losing. But I saw it now, and I would do whatever it took to make it right. Greece was a whirlwind of color and chaos. I navigated the unfamiliar streets, asking locals for directions in broken phrases. Finally, I found myself standing outside his door, my heart in my throat. I knocked once, twice. The door opened, and there he was. William. He looked older, wearier, but his eyes, those kind, gentle eyes, were the same.
Helen?
He sounded shocked, disbelieving. Hi, William, I tried to smile, but my lips were trembling.
What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be getting married?
The question hit me like a punch. I felt the tears welling up again, and I couldn't stop them. I couldn't do it, I sobbed. I couldn't marry him. William, I made a terrible mistake. I never should have left you. He stared at me for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Then, slowly, he opened the door wider.
You better come in.
Inside, I poured out my heart. I told him everything: the wedding, Charles, the realization that had struck me like lightning. I told him how much I regretted hurting him, how much I wanted to make amends. I know I don't deserve a second chance, I said, my voice breaking, but I'm asking for one anyway, because I love you, William. I never stopped loving you. He was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke.
I loved you too, Helen, more than I ever thought possible.
Loved. Past tense, my heart was in my throat.
I don't know, Helen. You hurt me. Badly. How do I know you won't do it again?
Because I've changed, William. I'm not the same person I was. Losing you, it made me realize what's truly important. And that's you. That's us.
I want to believe you, but I don't know if I can trust you again.
I understand. I know I have to earn your trust back, and I will, William. I'll spend every day proving my love for you, if you'll let me. In the end, he agreed to give me a chance. It wasn't a promise, but it was hope, and that was enough. The following months were a journey of rediscovery, of healing. I found a job in Greece, determined to build a new life. William introduced me to his world: the sun-soaked beaches, the quaint cafes, the ancient ruins that whispered of a time long past. Slowly, tentatively, we began to rebuild what we had lost. There were moments of doubt, of fear, moments where the weight of the past seemed too heavy to bear. But we worked through it day by day, piece by piece. I learned to communicate, to express my feelings instead of bottling them up. I learned to listen, to truly understand. And most of all, I learned to love deeply, selflessly, unconditionally. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, I felt a change within me. I was no longer the selfish, impulsive girl I had been. I was stronger, wiser, more compassionate. I had found myself, my true self, in the process of finding my way back to William. And as I looked into his eyes, I saw the love, the trust, the promise of forever. I knew that every step of the journey had been worth it.
I never thought I'd find happiness again.
William confessed one evening as we walked hand in hand along the shore.
After you left, I was broken. I didn't think I'd ever heal.
I'm so sorry, William. I was so foolish, so blind. But losing you, it was the wake-up call I needed. It made me realize what truly matters in life.
And what's that?
He turned to me, his eyes searching mine. Love, I said simply. Real, honest, unconditional love. The kind of love that weathers storms and grows stronger. The kind of love we have. He smiled then, a real, genuine smile that lit up his whole face.
I love you, Helen. More than words can say.
I love you too, William. Forever and always. And as the sun set over the Aegean, casting the world in a golden glow, I knew that I was exactly where I was meant to be. In the arms of the man I loved, in the country that had become my home. I had taken the long road, the hard road, but it had led me to a love that was worth fighting for. A love that would last a lifetime. As I looked out at the horizon, at the endless possibilities stretching before us, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. My story had not been a fairy tale. There had been pain, heartbreak, mistakes. But there had also been growth, forgiveness, redemption. And in the end, that was what mattered most. Not the destination, but the journey. The lessons learned, the love found, the person I had become. I was Helen. And this was my story.